Hey guys, how's it going? Brandon here, and welcome you guys to something special and something that you guys have been asking for the longest time. Since I've been doing these team builders, one of the main topics has been, can I do the original Generation 1 games? Now, as a kid, I never got round to playing these firsthand because, like I've mentioned many times before, I come in at the Generation 3 stage. My first game was Emerald, but thanks to modern day technology and Visual Boy Advance and all that stuff now, I've been able to sit down and play the original games, and the nostalgia factor and just the feel for the games, I can see why so many of you guys wanted me to do a team build for these games. So we're kicking off with Pokemon Yellow. This game is slightly different to Red and Blue, and we'll get into different factors about that as the team goes on. But of course, before any team builder, quick disclaimer to say this is opinion based. If you want to change anything about the team, then go ahead and do so. It is your journey through Kanto and through the original game. The only thing you can't change, of course, is your starter, which is Pikachu. But in terms of your other 5 members of the team, you can go with anything. These are just 5 that helped me get through the game and that were surprisingly useful to me. Without further ado, you guys, let's get into this team builder. So first up, of course, we have our starter for Pokemon Yellow, which, if you guys didn't know, fair enough, it's everyone's favourite, the brand Pokemon for the whole community. Everyone loves this guy. I personally don't. It's Pikachu. There is nothing, I have nothing against Pikachu. It's cute, it's yellow, it's great in the anime. Just in-game, it's kind of booty. I think for Pokemon Yellow, you do get a boosted one. Don't quote me on that, but I do feel like that the Pikachu that you get while through Pokemon Yellow is sort of like enhanced a little bit. The stats on the right-hand side are Sun and Moon, like all the Sun and Moon. I got rid of Natures on the layout because there is no Natures in the original generations. For a moveset, we went Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, Quick Attack, Double Team. Like I said, movesets for this generation were the hardest thing to sort out in terms of like going through these teams, because the movesets and the way that the game was done back then, like, oh my god, it's stressful as shit. Pikachu is adorable as shit. Obviously, normally it does evolve into Raichu, the evolutions thing, but you cannot evolve your Pikachu in Pokemon Yellow. It is like Ash's from the anime. It does not want to become a Raichu, so it will not become a Raichu. If they ever do that in the anime, I think it would just absolutely just break the fucking internet. Thunderbolt, hard-hitting electric-type move. Thunderwave, paralyzation can be brutal in first generation. So can Double Team and evasiveness. Like, anything accuracy-wise in Generation 1 is the absolute worst. Being sand attacked by Pidgeys and Spearows is the absolute worst in Generation 1. Quick attack for priority and just a move to finish something off. It's your starter, you're going to use it. You learn to love it throughout the game as it follows you around the entire region. It's a great mon, everyone loves Pikachu. I can't even do my typical if you haven't used it already need to, because it's Pikachu. If you're playing for Pokemon Yellow, you definitely will use this thing. You can mix it up moveset wise, anything you want. It's great, it's cute, everyone loves him. It's the lovable, it's the first team member. Of course, it's Pikachu. Our second team member that we have for this Pokemon Yellow team builder, you guys, is my boy Primeape. Now, for all of you who have seen the original team builders that we did for Fire Red Leaf Green, I actually had this guy in all of them. Looking back, I kind of probably should have mixed it up a little bit. But for Pokemon Yellow, Primeape works really well. Having Pikachu as a starter, you're really going to struggle in that first gym if you don't grab this guy. Low Kick absolutely just destroys Geodude and Onix because of the mechanic of it. It works really well for in-game team builders, especially since it's just simple for the fact it has high attack and speed. It can take a hit, it can take 1 or 2 a push, maybe not super effectively, but it can take a hit. Submission, Strength, Rock Slide, Dig. Rock Slide is a TM that you get. It obviously deals with flying types. Dig's just a physical move. Strength's hard hitting is a physical move, and Submission is stab base 120. I want to say Submission is. You do get a bit of recoil though, so just watch out for the recoil damage off Submission. But you will do a nice bit of damage. It's the one spot on the team where I feel like it's negotiable for you to go back through different things. If you want to use a Mankey to get past the first gym, but then go on to say use a Machamp, or, I don't know, Alakazam, or Nidoking, anything like that. I know Nidoking's, I'm going to mention Nidoking because Nidoking I know is a personal fan favourite for Generation 1 because of how broken it was with X accuracy and Horn Drills. So I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you just need to use Nidoking. That's the only thing you need in Generation 1. Fun fact, it's not in this team. Don't kill me. But, yeah, so Primeape's here at number 2. It's fast, it hits hard, it does the job, it gets you past the first gym and up through the region, so it does its job perfectly, and it will do for you too. So if you haven't tried it already, I'm going to say it, If you haven't tried it already, then please definitely give it a go. I also like his design. It's a boxing monkey pig looking thing. I like monkeys, I like pigs. Boxing's a cool fucking sport. Why the hell not? If you haven't used it already, definitely do. It's our second team member. It, of course, is Primeape. On to Pokemon number 3, and once again, a massive fan favourite coming out of Generation 1. Probably, I'd say, the most loved Pokemon out of all of them is easily Charizard. This thing is amazing. Me personally, the reason it's loved so much really just puts it down on it for me. Like, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard are a fantastic line. Competitively, it's brilliant. The Mega Evolutions are brilliant. But then going back to Generation 1 and the original, everyone loved this thing. It's a dragon, but not a dragon type, funny enough. It's a fire-breathing dragon that flies around. For the moveset, we've gone Fly, Slash, Flamethrower, and Fire Blast. It just hits hard. Fire Blast and Flamethrower, stab if you want to do a little bit extra damage and hopefully you don't miss, you have the Fire Blast. If you just want to do a big chunk of damage that's not going to miss, you go for the Flamethrower. Slash is high crit, and Generation 1, the higher the speed, the crit, and this thing's base 100, so you will be getting crits for fucking days. And Fly, again, just a stab flying type move if you want to hit anything flying, fighting types possibly, if you want to hit those super effectively, possibly like for Bruno. Charizard does the job really well at getting through that. Its stats wise, as we know, it's quick, base 100 speed, like I just said, base 109 special attack, so like I said, that Flamethrower and Fire Blast are special in this generation. 84 physical attacks, Slash and Fly is still going to do decent amount of damage with 84, especially Fly considering its stab as well. It's one of the starters, it's one of the OGs, it is the OG starter, of course, along with Blastoise and Venusaur, so everyone loves it. It is the most loved, overrated thing about Pokemon, but he's fantastic. I'm not even going to say if you haven't used him because everyone's used the Charizard. We know how great he is. He's the third team member, is Charizard. Moving on to Pokemon at number 4, and there's a little pattern assuming here. We have Venusaur. Yes, Pokemon Yellow, you actually have the opportunity to get hold of all 3 starters. All is the next one, Blastoise. And Venusaur, as we know, the OG starter, their starter mons, you know how reliable they are. We know how brilliant they are, and Venusaur is no different. This was the one, I think, out of all 3, when it comes to a moveset and using it in game, I probably struggled with the most. So I went with a tanky variant in the end. Razor Leaf is your only hitting move here, but having Leech Seed, Toxic, and Growth is just absolutely disgusting on this guy. Toxic, as we know, being a poison type, it gets hold of, even though everything gets hold of Toxic, but why not chuck it on our poison type? The reason I didn't go for Sludge Bomb is it's either post-game or the way to get it is there's basically a little girl or boy on top of the Cerulean store, and depending on what drink you give them is depending on the TM they give you, and I've given Rock Slide to someone, so you want to give it a drink for Rock Slide. I think Sludge Bomb is an alternative. I think everyone's Ice Beam. I'm probably completely wrong on that, and it might be post-game. But Razor Leaf, Leech Seed, Toxic, Growth to boost up that special attack for Razor Leaf to do even more damage. Leech Seed is just going to drain their health away, and Toxic is just going to grow and grow and grow, and you can just bulk out hits, spam heal, and just absolutely be a salty, dirty bastard. And it's absolutely hilarious because you're the one doing it, and it means you're winning. Special defense is at base 100, same for the special attacks. Like I said, Razor Leaf is going to hit hard. You could swap it out. I don't know if Frenzy Plant is in this generation. It probably isn't. Like, again, I'm very hazy when it comes to Generation 1 movesets and looking through the games. Like I said, I'm very unfamiliar with Generation 1, so if all I'm saying is just complete bollocks, then just ignore me completely, just mute the video and just skip forward and see what the team is, and then do your own thing, because I could just talk absolute bollocks all day. As we know, Bulbasaur is cute as shit. To get this thing though, I do know this, to get Bulbasaur in the game, you need to talk to the girl in the house next to the gym after you've beaten the gym, and your Pikachu needs to be at near enough max happiness. Now the best way to do this is to heal up your Pikachu after the gym battle, and make sure you have at least 1 potion, and literally stand next to her. You don't have to stand next to her, and just keep offering your Pikachu the potion, even though it says it has no effect. Just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and the game will think that you're giving it and it's increasing its happiness. Do it about 20 times, and your Pikachu, you then speak to Pikachu, have loads of hearts around it, and that's when you speak to the girl. She'll see that your Pikachu loves you so much that she gives you the Bulbasaur. It's pretty much like the anime, when obviously Ash, this Bulbasaur was having trouble when she saw how good Ash was with his Pikachu and other Mons. So she's like, oh, you're going to be a perfect trainer for Bulbasaur, blah, 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 blah. So it's sort of like, it relates back to the anime in a way. Like the way that you get the Charmander is a dude sort of like, oh, I'm not good enough trying to look after the Charmander. Like in the anime, the Charmander's owner was an absolute wanker, etc, 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 blah, 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 blah. And also I'll get onto how you get Blastoise in a little bit. But as we know, Venusaur's fantastic. It's bulky. This set's fantastic. You're going to love him. It's the 4th team member. I spoke about that way for too long. It is Venusaur. Moving on to the 5th team member, and holy fuck, who would have thought it? We've gone with Blastoise. We've gone with the 3rd and final starter in the game. You get offered all 3 starters in the game. Why? You'd be stupid not to take all 3 of them. They're all fantastic. Blastoise is fantastic in the game, especially with those base 100 and 105 defenses. This one, moveset wise, is absolutely amazing. Surf and Hydro Pump, like again, going back to what we did with Charizard with Flamethrower and Fire Blast. If you want a little bit extra damage, but don't want might miss, go for the Hydro Pump. Body Slam is absolutely broken Generation 1, a chance to paralyze and hits really hard. Blizzard's there for obviously grass types, etc, blah blah blah. This thing is brilliant in game. It's probably the best out of the 3 in my opinion for in-game starter. I always preferred Blastoise over Venusaur and Charizard. Not that Venusaur and Charizard aren't good, because they fucking are. Blastoise is just, in my opinion, always been the best one out of the 3 in-game wise. Competitively, I'd probably say Mega Charizard and then Mega Venusaur. Then I'd probably say Blastoise is the worst one competitively, but in-game wise, Blastoise is the best one, so they all even themselves out very well. To get a Squirtle in the game, you need to talk to Officer Jenny after beating Lieutenant Surge. I think it's after you beat the gym. Just if you can talk to her beforehand and see if she gives it. It's basically you get one of the Squirtles from the Squirtle Squad, and you get that Squirtle to join your team because she's captured them and stuff like that. So again, going back to the anime references, of course, one of these Squirtles from the Squirtle Squad that's causing havoc joins Ash, and etc, etc. As you guys know. Like I said, in-game this thing is fantastic. I'm also going to go back and mention just Nidoqueen real quick. A lot of people love to use Nidoqueen, but if you guys don't know, on my team builds I don't like to use dual typings, and I wanted to use all 3 starters for this special team builder. So I wasn't going to have dual poison with Nidoking, which is why it's not in here. If you do want to swap it out and go for a different grass type instead of Venusaur, then you're more than welcome to. But Blastoise is fantastic. Everyone loves him. The 3 starters are there. They're available to you. I highly recommend that you use all 3 of them because they're all fantastic in their own right. It's our 5th team member. It's Blastoise. Moving on to the final team member then, you guys, and I think a lot of you either saw this coming and thought, if this guy is not here, then I just am bad at what I do. Generation 1 Snorlax is absolutely amazing. This guy is, I'm constantly told in my Generation 1 team builders for Fire Leaf Green, where's Snorlax? Why haven't you used Snorlax? My biggest one for the Generation 3 is why I haven't used Jolteon, why I haven't used Dugtrio, and why haven't I used Snorlax? Well, Dugtrio and Snorlax join normal types of blah 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 blah. Looking into that, but Snorlax is amazing. This moveset of Body Slam, Earthquake, Rest, Hyper Beam. Body Slam is already amazing as a chance to paralyze. Earthquake is a hard-hitting move that I didn't give to anyone else. You could possibly give it to Primeape if you wanted to swap out Earthquake for something else. Rest to recover all that base 160 HP, and Hyper Beam because Generation 1 Hyper Beam, if you kill with Hyper Beam, you don't have to recharge. This man has base 110 physical attack, stab, Hyper Beam, which means he kills a lot with Hyper Beam, then doesn't have to recharge. It's absolutely disgustingly broken. And that's why Snorlax is here, because if you just need to kill something, you click Hyper Beam. If it doesn't kill, you tank a hit while recharging, use another Hyper Beam, kill, then get to use Hyper Beam again. And then if you do get low, you just laugh, click Rest, get all of it back again, use a healing item, start hitting Hyper Beams again. Of course, with the 5 PP, it's not the most effective thing over a long term, but if you just want to absolutely destroy one of the Elite Four, or if you just want to go in against Lance in the Elite Four and just absolutely obliterate him, then Hyper Beam does the job. Blastoise also does an amazing job with Surf and Blizzard. So it's just one of those team members that if it wasn't here, I knew the comments section would have absolutely slaughtered me. So he's here, he's fantastic. Use a Snorlax in Generation 1 if you haven't, because like I said, it's the most broken thing in this game, and it's absolutely fantastic and funny to use. It's our final team member, it's the fat old boy himself, it's Snorlax. So there you have it, you guys. That is our Pokemon Yellow Special Edition Team Builder. We have Pikachu, Primeape, Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, and Snorlax. Now, of course, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to change anything about this team, movesets, Pokemon themselves, by all means, go ahead and do so. It is your journey through Kanto. Make sure let me know what changes you made in the comment section below. But with that said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and if you enjoyed, make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your teams, thoughts, comments, any team builders that you want to see in the future. Like I said, make sure let me know all down in the comment section below. I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!